Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Shambles United podcast. This is your host, Karan Advani, and I'm joined today by two of our regular panelists, Shoto and Eshaan Shah, and we're going to be talking about the United game against Newcastle, along with the Champions League game coming up away against the Young Boys in Switzerland. First, Shoto, what did you think about the game against Newcastle? Well, the scoreline did justice to the way we played.
We played well. Our attacking game was on point. We did have a few screw ups at the back. Our midfield is a little sketchy still, but Pogba is playing brilliantly. Sancho could have done a little bit better. He lost out some balls and missed, I think 12 times the ball got out from his 52 dribbles. And De Gea is in good form. That's really good for us. But all in all, it was supposed to be. We were supposed to win. We had a stacked squad against Newcastle.
Yeah, absolutely. Even I feel that United really played very well. The first half was a little scrappy. Probably the our all-star attack hasn't gotten the time to gel with each other till now because Sancho and Ronaldo being new boys, along with us missing players like Cavani and Rashford, it was definitely going to be like difficult for us to be in first gear or like attack Newcastle with the same intensity as we will see in the future. So, Ishan, what did you think about the Newcastle game? You felt that Sancho, like Shorto mentioned, that Sancho could have done better. But what did you think about his performance? And also, what did you think about Ronaldo's homecoming?
Yeah, so about Sancho, I think that he showed glimpses of what he can do. He ran past like two three people once, and he tried to cut back. There was this one instance I thought that Wan Bissaka put a brilliant like he squared the ball when Pogba gave him a through ball, and nobody was there for the tap in. Where I thought that Sancho should have been there because being the wide left player, if Ronaldo is in the middle, I really thought that Sancho should have scored that. But it's completely fine. He's going to take some time. Like we've seen with Kai Havertz, both of them are talented. Both of them have come from the Bundesliga. They're going to take some time. And I would not be worried about him. He played okay, but like there's more of him to come. And Ronaldo, I mean, it's a dream. I don't even know. Like the first goal, it's like Cavani. It's exactly like Cavani. I think even if Cavani is there, he scores that. But
Precisely.
just because it's Ronaldo, if it's just because it's Ronaldo, we just got a uplift, and the crowd just got like more and more, like they got into the game. I think by the end of like mid first half, I think everyone just got a little bored, and they were like, okay, it's gonna be one of those days. But as soon as Ronaldo scored, everyone was pumping, and I think it was sloppy considering the first goal, considering our goal. But I mean, the second goal, really good through ball from Luke Shaw, and really good finish by Ronaldo. It was just a dream. And then I think Bruno played okay during the whole game. He wasn't good. I would have subbed him off at 60 minutes, but I think Ole got justified like of not subbing him because at the 80th minute he scored a very good goal. Like it's actually a worldie. I don't think many people score that goal. So
True.
yeah, I mean they played well, but I think we should have won 4-0 instead of 4-1. Really feel that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. Like you shed light on Ronaldo's movement and his anticipation for the first goal. Uh, it's really remarkable to see how he has the instinct to potentially see a keeper make an error, maybe spill the ball towards him, because he started to make his movement before Greenwood even took a shot,
Before,
and
yeah, yeah,
that that explains how he's at the place where he is, and that's why he's the
yeah. You
all-time
can't teach that.
goal scorer.
You can't teach that.
Exactly, it's
Definitely.
just pure instinct, and his hunger, his desire to put the ball at the back of the net maybe the fans were fueling him more. But it's not a surprise that Ronaldo is the highest goal scoring player in club football history. Like, it's because of movement like that, and it's because of his instincts that he's at the
International
top.
football as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. International football as
International
well.
club football, the
Mm.
man just breathes goals.
Yeah,
He scored
man.
around
That's true.
700, 800
God
goals, which is
knows. God knows how
incredible.
many years.
So,
And I'm
so I
sorry to
wanted,
cut you, but
I wanted to,
continue. I'm very sorry.
yeah, I wanted to shed light on one aspect of Ronaldo's game in the Newcastle game. Uh, we saw Luke Shaw running down the middle and playing a lovely through ball, perfect weighted pass, where Ronaldo took a perfect touch and finished it with his left foot. Maybe the keeper could have done better, but for him to get into that position, we had just conceded the equalizer. It was 1-1, and Ronaldo, as usual, was as clutch as ever. You probably haven't seen a more clutch player in football history. So I wanted to ask you guys one question. Like, and maybe Ishan, you could start off. How clutch do you think Ronaldo is going to be for us in the Champions League or in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup this season? Because we've seen Ronaldo, who has the knack of scoring those random freak hat tricks against the likes of Wolfsburg or Atletico Madrid when they're 2-0 down and a must-win game to win the tie on his own. How clutch do you think Ronaldo is going to be for our chances in the Champions League this season? What do you think, Ishan?
I think he's going to be very important. I think they don't just call him Mr. Champions League for no reason. I mean, like, he is the Champions League top scorer as well. He's going to be, if not the most, but one of the most important players for us to get some Champions League success. I would expect us to reach the quarters. Really expect us to be like even semis actually, but quarters is a must because with the team we have, and in situations like that where like we're 2-0 down and you bring on Cristiano Ronaldo or he's there in the team, you can never write off Manchester United because in like 45 minutes he can change the game. He can really because even against I think it was Ireland or something. Now Portugal played and they were 1-0 down the whole game, and even a defender of the team they came and said that we deserved to win the game, but they had the best player in the world who turned it around in like 3 minutes and he scored two goals in the 80th minute and in the 92nd minute or something. So you can't write off United with Cristiano Ronaldo in it because he can score goals out of nothing. He can score a hat trick, and if you give him the chances, he will score. There are very less chances that he's going to miss. And once he gels with the team more, once he's more involved, I think at Juventus he was more of Juventus plays a little slow game. If United bring up their pace, they bring him more into the game, give him more chances. I feel he can score many goals for us in the cup competitions, in the league, everything, because he's not slowing down. It doesn't look like a 36-year-old at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Ronaldo keeps defying his age and defying his fitness. Like, there are 22 or 23-year-olds who would aspire to be as fit as a 36-year-old Ronaldo, and that epitomizes Ronaldo's game and his intensity and his work ethic better than probably any other way. So, Shorter, what do you think about Ishan's claims that maybe we should expect to reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League or maybe even the semifinals? What do you think? What expectations do you set for us this season, considering that we have a relatively easier group? Like, we could have had a much worse group, but to have Villarreal, Young Boys, and Atalanta in our group, which by no means is going to be easy because Atalanta play some phenomenal football under Gasperini, and Villarreal, they've hurt us enough in the last 6 months. And Young Boys is definitely, it's going to be a side that has nothing to lose. They would take the game to us if they would somehow manage to get out of the group. It's just a bonus for them. So, what do you think about our chances in the Champions League? Do you think we should be expecting a quarter or a semi-final berth?
So, Karan, like Ishan mentioned, or definitely Mr. Champions League is there with us. plus Champions League Varane is also with us. So we have very good chances. Because we have a easy group, our round of 16 won't be that tough. I expect us to top this group itself. Then after round of 16, I believe quarterfinal will be a tough match, but let's hope how we fare over there. Talking about how Ronaldo could play a huge part in this. See, for the second goal against Newcastle, as we were 1-0 down, we put together three very good passes. One was from the defense to Pogba. Pogba spotted Shaw making that run. Shaw carried that ball really well. Gave it off to Ronaldo because he was going into the space, and he scored from his weaker foot. Although the goalkeeper could have done better, but it was a very good team goal. Similarly, if you look at say how we have had problems against low blocks, first of all, we didn't have very good intricate passing which was going on, which can break down a low block. We saw that against Newcastle for a bit. Secondly, we were not doing the counters really well. If you remember the season prior to the last season, we were very good at the counter. But last season we were not doing that well. I'm not sure what happened, but right now, if you're looking at the ball carriers we have, like Sancho, Shaw himself, even say maybe if we see Lingard playing as well as he did against Newcastle, he can also join in the fun. Uh, the finishing in Ronaldo and Cavani that they both bring into the table, I'm definitely sure more of our counters will also bear fruit. Plus the heading, like how they can put in the headers, both Ronaldo and Cavani themselves. I can see that we can break through low blocks. Even though last time the Yellow Submarine sunk us in the final, I don't think it will go that close this time around. Although Atlanta is a very good team, they are susceptible to counters.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more because you mentioned a style of play and how we were we could penetrate any defense on the counter 2 seasons ago. But I feel last season we all rounded our game a lot more. We started to recycle possession and try to build something from the back, like
Correct.
in a proper manner. So I feel that this season we need to make sure that we counter teams when it's needed, because we definitely have one of the most lethal counter-attacking units in Europe. Because when you talk about players like Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Sancho, with Pogba, Bruno finding them, and somebody with Ronaldo's intricacy and his running in behind, and Cavani's movement, I feel United have what it takes to potentially be the best counter-attacking side in Europe, and that's something that we need to work on. But you also mentioned our heading, and I feel I mentioned this a couple of times on our Twitter account. I feel United definitely need to make the most out of their set pieces and their corners, because when you look at the players that are going to be playing most of the minutes on the pitch, you think of players like Ronaldo, Cavani, Pogba, McTominay, Varane, Maguire. When you have six of these juggernauts in the box, when you're putting in crosses at pace from the likes of Sancho, Rashford, Luke Shaw, you you definitely need to expect a lot of headed goals this season. Because when you have these six players, the defense is never going to know who to mark. And with the appointment of Eric Ramsey, I do have a lot of expectations from United, and it might be really bold, but I am most definitely expecting at least 10 goals over the course of the season from set pieces through
Wow.
headers. And
That's a huge
because
number.
exactly, because it's when I think of Ronaldo, who's probably the best header of the ball with his leap, you got Maguire, you got Champions League Varane, you got Pogba, you got McTominay, you got Cavani. These players are so tall and they're so physical. They have what it takes to beat any defender in the air. So, Ishan, what do you think about this claim of mine? Because is 10 goals a little too much, or do you think I have a fair reasoning for it?
No, I feel it's right. 10 goals over like club, like not only Premier League, right? Even in Champions League and like
Yeah,
with
yeah,
FA
yeah,
Cup
absolutely.
subcounted, right? Yeah, then
Over the
I
course
think
of the
10
season.
goals is really reachable because, as you said, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's one of the best threats from set pieces. His heading ability is seriously very nice. And I don't know why, but Maguire just doesn't seem to score so many goals for United as much as he does for England compared to the number of games he plays for England. Like he plays lesser games for England, but you always hear him scoring a header from a Luke Shaw
True.
cross. But with us, it just sometimes doesn't click. And I don't know if it's like how we attack the ball during set pieces or it's just some, some hard luck sometimes you could say. But I would really would expect Harry Maguire to get more headed goals. Last time I remember, two times he scored, like, when you are 1-0 down in an away game or at a home game, but mostly in an away game, you really need a goal. And I think it was Newcastle last season where we struggled the whole game, and Harry Maguire came up with a header and he scored a goal. And I'm pretty sure like that's what you look for in your captain when your team is struggling. You have a set piece, you're good in the air, you should score like a captain's goal and bring the team into the game, like, cheer them up, pump them with energy. You expect that out of a captain, and Harry Maguire should be scoring more. And even Varane, I think even in this game also he should have, like, when he got the head, I think someone would have been on the
Exactly.
second post. He would have got a nice assist. But he's better than Lindelof in the air for set pieces. I think he's way
Miles
better
ahead.
than Lindelof. Yeah, and even
Yeah,
Eric Bailly, because Eric Bailly would just do something stupid and kick someone. So he's way better. So that way, I mean, we should be scoring more set pieces goals. But like with the appointment of the new set piece coach, I would really expect us to be better at defending set pieces from corners. That is so bad. Last season, I think only Leeds conceded more goals from set pieces than United, and that's very very horrible. We used to concede, like they used to just cross the ball into our 6 yard box, where De Gea used to not, like, he's not the strongest, so sometimes he would get pushed or some foul or something, and the ball used to just end up in the back of the net, and it used to be so embarrassing because we've got really tall defenders like McTominay. We like defender nahi, but they are very tall, like Cavani, McTominay, Pogba, Maguire. They should be heading the ball out, but it just sometimes does not happen, and it's so annoying that we defend that way. But I would really expect us to not concede as much as like we did last time.
Good point.
yeah, absolutely. Like United were really prone to conceding these really poor goals out of nothing, especially from set pieces. But with the appointment of Eric Ramsey, and I feel United are better suited to defending set pieces this time around, because last season we saw Lindelof partnering Maguire, who isn't the strongest centre back in the air. And Van Bissaka has the tendency of losing his marker at the back post. So
Exactly.
I feel this season, with the inclusion of Varane and like throwing in Ronaldo into the box as well, who does tend to head a lot of balls clear from corners. I feel United are better off this season. So hopefully we can see that more towards, like, by the end of the season, when we're going to be talking again. Hopefully we would have some of the fewest goals conceded, considering the presence we have in the box now. So speaking,
One point I'd like to add from Ishan's, say the Varane chance on the when he was heading it to the back post, he moved really beautifully. None of our defenders previously used to, attack that space where Varane attacked, and that is how he got the ball to loop into the back post. And this was what was missing. Yes, having so many good attack like headers or people who are going to attack the ball, like Maguire, you have Pogba, you have as well as say Varane himself. There is an added threat. Uh, I think why Maguire hasn't been able to bring in that conversion from England is because he does not have a lot of other, like, United did not have a lot of other threats as well. So that is why he was not able to convert that well. So hopefully, yes, Karan, let's hope we get 10 headers in.
Yeah, fingers crossed for that. So we need to speak about our game tomorrow night against young boys. We're traveling to Switzerland. So I'm not exactly sure what to expect from this game because if I'm not wrong, the young boys have a defender, Jordan Lefort, who is one of their most important defenders. He has gone on record today to say that he's expecting young boys to not sit back against United and they're going to try to attack. So I don't know whether that is the coach's philosophy or whether it's just the nothing to lose attitude which has been embedded into them. So I don't know what to expect from tomorrow. Like I would expect maybe a routine win, but it's a Champions League. We never know what happens. So what do you think, Ishan? You think it's going to be a routine win or it's going to be a scrappy win?
I think for young boys, like they have a huge fan base. I think we went there in 2018, if I'm not wrong, and Pogba scored a very good goal and he was the captain. If I'm not wrong, we won 3-0 that game. But you could see even then they have a very good crowd, and having fans in the Champions League will really push their team. So that I think we can expect a tough fight there. I think it's going to be 2-1 to United. We will win, I feel, but it's not going to be so easy because it's the Champions League and their fans are going to be extra pumped to see their team in the Champions League playing against a very big team. So I would not expect us to win very easily, like 3-0, 4-0. That's not happening, in my opinion. I feel it's going to be 2-1. It's going to be a clutch game. You could expect a Ronaldo goal. I think, Greenwood's going to be important. Pogba's going to be very important in this game. I think our big players really need to, you know, stand up to the occasion, bring the best out of the team, and play well. Otherwise, you're going to get punished. And losing the first game in the Champions League is really, really bad because it puts pressure on to the next game and the next game. And then you might just start thinking that if it goes to the last match day where we have to win that game to qualify for the next round, for the round of 16, then you just go back to think that the first game we should have won that, man. We would have not been in the situation. So it's very important to get off on a good start in the group stage.
Especially after last
Yeah,
year.
Yeah, especially after
exactly.
last year, we had a very good start, but then we threw it. It was very embarrassing. We just needed 1 point from 3 games, and we didn't do that.
It was really disappointing last season. That it's
Yeah.
better not to talk about our European adventures from last season. So,
True.
so, so short of like Ishan mentioned that he's expecting the likes of Greenwood, Ronaldo, Pogba to start. Like, do you think all of our big guns are going to be starting tomorrow? With all due respect to young boys, I don't think they are on the level of maybe Villarreal or Atalanta in our group. So, do you think Van de Beek might make a surprise start, or do you see maybe Jesse Lingard to get a start? What do you think our 11 is going to be?
Uh, I don't think our big boys are going to start from the set go. I think we will be fielding our second choice people. And although young boys are doing really well in their league itself, they are fourth in Swiss Super League. They've picked up 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. They have also won 4-0 against FC Zurich. Plus, they are coached by Wagner from Huddersfield and Schalke, background. So you remember how you used to, field his teams. Mostly, I suppose,
Oh,
like
he's the
last time.
Juventus manager.
So last time, young boys came like they were going blow for blow against us, and as Ishan mentioned, Paul Pogba stole the show. He was the captain last time round. I still see Anthony Marshall scoring again on his return to Bern. Um, Maybe we'll be. It won't be that tense in the first half. Maybe because it will be very open. But we'll score the first goal and then another, and then Bern will be trying to keep it solid at the back, like they did when they came to Old Trafford last time around.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm personally of the opinion that our big guns are not going to be starting. Like, a few of them will, not everyone. I personally think that Daya is definitely starting because Henderson isn't traveling with us with the squad.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be De Gea, it would be Van Bissaka. I expect Lindelof to start with Maguire and Luke Shaw. Then we would potentially be playing Fred and Van de Beek along with
Mm-hmm.
Bruno, Sancho, Martial, and Greenwood. So that's what I think is going to be the level. But yeah, we're going to let's just see because Ole doesn't have a tendency to rotate like his big
Exactly.
guns.
I'm so worried with that. We'll get tired.
So yeah, fingers crossed. It's going to be really tricky. It shouldn't be tricky, but Ole is going to make it seem tricky. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Definitely.
like that brings me to my next question. Cavani and Dean Henderson aren't traveling with the squad at the moment. I don't know what's up with Cavani. He didn't travel for the internationals to Uruguay, and I'm not really sure how involved he is with the first 11 at the moment. He seems to be motivated through his interviews, but I'm not entirely sure how motivated he is to actually be here after Ronaldo's signing. So, what do you guys think about Cavani's future at the club? It's definitely going to be his last year. But how many games do you see him start? Like, ideally, we should be rotating between Ronaldo and Cavani, and they definitely be spoiled for choices because two of them are really amazing. So, yeah, coming to you, Ishan, what do you think Cavani is going to do for us this season? Do you think he's going to play a lot?
Yeah, I do think. I think Oleg did say that he picked up a knock in training, and Cavani does tend to take up a lot of injuries, and he does not usually play when he is at 80% fitness, like how Rashford does. He wants to be 100%, otherwise he does not play. He takes care of his body very well that way, and he's very like particular that way. He does not play when he's not at 100%. So I would expect him to play only when he's 100%. I would expect him to play around 35 games, but start around 20 in the and like last season also. He was very important in the second half of the season rather than the first half. So I think in the first half we were seeing a lot of Martial on the top and Greenwood on top and Rashford up top. So I would really expect that to continue instead of Martial. I think it's going to be Ronaldo, but Cavani will come into the second half of the season. He'll take a couple of games to, uh, get ready or something. But once he gets going, I think it's going to be Cavani and Ronaldo midweek, weekend is going to be Cavani, Ronaldo, switching between them. I don't think they're going to play together, but I definitely think Cavani and Ronaldo are going to play. They're going to play a lot of games. That's what I feel.
You mentioned Martial at the start of last season, and now we come to Ronaldo. Just a slight improvement, like nothing major. So,
Yeah. Martial, the difference is that Ronaldo is just done it. And like Ronaldo's on a different league, but Martial, I just feel he's low on confidence. He's very low on confidence. He's had a bad injury. He just needs a lot of game time, which Ole right now just can't give him with the likes of Cavani and Ronaldo.
yeah, and at the moment, he doesn't really merit his spot as a striker because both Cavani and Ronaldo are leaps and bounds ahead of him in terms of quality and presence. And besides that, I don't really want to see him at the left wing again because if I had to throw in some energy out wide, I would rather play somebody like Lingard over Martial just in
Yeah,
terms of the
definitely.
energy. So
Definitely.
yeah, I don't know what Martial is going to be doing. It could be his last season. season at the club. But like I mentioned, Dean Henderson, he isn't traveling with the squad. We've seen David De Gea suddenly go back to his amazing displays. You've seen double saves. You've seen his distribution. He started sweeping up, which is incredible because he used to never do that. And like the pass for the Bruno goal against Newcastle was ridiculously good. So, what do you think, Shorter? Do you think Henderson versus De Gea is going to take yet another turn where De Gea has taken a spot and we might potentially lose Henderson next season if he doesn't get his chance?
Karan, personally tell me, how are you feeling with the hair back?
I'm confused because I have a couple of thoughts. It's I would like to see Henderson be at the club for a long time. I see a lot of potential in him. He could be a very good keeper for us for 7 to 8 seasons. But there's no reason to drop De Gea on based on the form he's been in since the start of the season. Like, how do you drop such a player? Because he hasn't made any errors. He's all rounded his game. So there's no reason to drop him. I'm just worried about a single aspect that we might be loyal to a 30-year-old and end up losing a 23-year-old who would be the base of our defense for the years to come. That's the only worry I have because in a few years we would have to replace JI as well, and that concerns me.
Definitely. So, Karan, I absolutely agree with you. There has been in really good form. We shouldn't tinker with it as or like with the position as much. But Dean Henderson will have his chances. Right now, he is just coming out of a knock. So let him recuperate a little bit. I'm sure in some point in time, Ole will be switching it up because he will want to give Dean Henderson a chance, maybe in FA Cup or EFL as well, and rest Dia for the other matches. Uh, or else in between also we can see a shuffle up if we have secured the top position in our UCL group as well to see Dean Henderson be picked as a numero uno. At this point in juncture, from United's perspective, I do think we should let Dea play and give some time to Henderson to recuperate to his 100% fitness, and that will actually bring out the best in both of them. Because if you have competition for the spots, you will see how Shaw blossomed in terms of how Tellis pushed him. Similarly, I think Dean Henderson's and De Gea's competition will make them both the better keepers because De Gea has changed a lot since say 2 years back or maybe last season as well. So it's a good conundrum to have.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ishan, what do you think about Henderson at the club? Like, do you think he has a long-term future?
Yeah, I do think that he does have a long term future, but I feel that, as you said, that you can't drop the hair right now. He is getting back his form, he's changing his game, he's improving, and like you said, I would just say that he's only 30. Like, keepers can play till they are 35. Kasper Schmeichel is 35 right now, and I don't think you would say that he's old. He's very good. He pulls off very, very good saves for Leicester, and he's 35. So I wouldn't be looking to switch De Gea up till 35. If you can think, if he can keep himself fit, goalkeepers don't really, like age as like outside players, outfield players. Like at 35, you don't call them old. The Buffon played till 40, 41. So I'm not saying play 40, 41, but 35, 37. I think De Gea could play. And I really don't understand this thing that Ole is trying to do, because I get it that competition for places really pushes the other player, but I wouldn't have messed with the goalkeeper situation like that, because it brings a mental thing into their into their game that, okay, I make a mistake, I'm going to get dropped tomorrow, and then the other keeper goes on and he has a pressure of performing, that if he makes a mistake then he's again dropped. So I think in goalkeeper situations, you have to stick with your goalkeeper, with your number one. You have to choose one. Ederson makes a lot of mistakes, but Pep chooses him. Allison makes quite a few mistakes. If you check it, he makes a lot of mistakes when he's kicking the ball out. He makes a lot of mistakes, but like Klopp never drops him. But De Gea makes one mistake, our fans are gonna be like, bring Henderson, and that brings pressure on Ollie, and it brings pressure on the team as well because everyone checks social media. Everybody sees social media. So when a player gets hate like that for a mistake that he makes,
Yeah,
is
that's
gonna get
absolutely right.
his confidence. Like his confidence is gonna go down for like getting competition. And I don't think Henderson has really proved his worth because I get it, he did very well at Sheffield, but that's Sheffield United. Being the number one for Sheffield and being the number one at Manchester United is a very big difference. I don't think many people will understand that because we aren't in the goalkeeping section, kind of. We won't understand how a goalkeeper feels. But when you have 80,000 fans behind you and you have number one at your back, it's a very big responsibility. And I think De Gea has done that for 10 years. I think, yeah, he fell off his very high standards. But if you can keep Mata for just because he's a legend apparently of the club, which I did not understand why you kept him, I don't think De Gea deserves the kick. I think he deserves to be trusted, to be kept, and to be like kept for the next 5 years. I really feel that he is miles ahead of Henderson. Henderson deserves his chance, but I would say give him out on loan again to a better club. And if not loan, sell him with a buyback option or something like that, if they can figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have started any better. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how Henderson develops at the club. So on that note, I feel we've discussed everything on the Champions United podcast for this week's episode. If, please leave your thoughts on our Twitter, our Instagram, and follow us. We post regularly. And see you next week. It's been lovely hosting you too. And any final thoughts?
Glory, glory, Man United.
Nice one, bro. And I'm just hoping that we have a good season, end with a trophy. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
fingers crossed for that. So on that note, that's all from the Champions United podcast. See you next. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.